잘 먹겠습니다.
Butter naan?
Mm-hmm. Honey butter naan. And we have just butter naan here.
Honey butter. Interessante. Pomegranate? Where'd you get pomegranate? Where'd you get it?
Dingo. It's the season.
That is delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Which kind of curry is this one?
Chicken masala.
I feel bad for our viewers. They don't get to try this. It's so good. It's like a pico de gallo almost.
Slight hint of Indian because of some curry powder I used. The recipe was Indian salad. The cookie I made.
Is that the one you got the inspiration from the coffee shop we went to?
But like
Yours are better?
because I used a lot of walnuts and a lot of chocolate and like handful of marshmallows. I put like 10 grams of, it's like 2 teaspoons of marshmallow. You should not have more than one a day. 제가 엄청 집착하고 그런 건 아닌데 다시 말해봐봐.
왜?
빨리.
왜?
How much point did you give?
9.9.
아야. 빨리 말하라고.
this. Smells great, baby.
I hope it's good. I was going to make one more dish, but it got boring. So.
What is this cheese?
Yeah, I was going to make something with the cheese, but I burnt the ingredients.
Oh. Is it because of the induction stove?
Good rice.
Is this cheese?
Tofu.
Tofu. I was like, why is it so fragile? It's falling apart.
I've never had this type of tofu. It's different from Korean tofu. Doesn't really taste much.
Good soup though. Bacon wrap something?
Kimchi.
Bacon wrap kimchi. Hot. Is there like a glaze or something? What is it?
Sugar.
It's good. Very interesting. I don't think I've ever had that before. But nice.
See?
Yeah. I feel like this is like one of those like simple but delicious soups.
Very simple soup.
It's so good.